very much. Nice to see you again. Today, we have a very distinguished guest from across the seas. I wish you could see the fantastic quantities of information about him in Who's Who. Now, on top of all of his other duties, he performs a very vital service for Britain's royal family. And we'll meet him as soon as our panel gets in place out here on To Tell the Truth. Nipsey Russell. Carlisle, Gene Rayburn, and Peggy. Nipsey Russell.
Yes, indeed.
I have let you off easily here of late. We haven't heard an immortal verse from you.
Yeah, a verse.
Yes. Do you have any on any subject?
Mother Nature and Father Time can't get together, it seems, because by the time we learn the games, we're too old to make the team.
I don't know why I'm laughing. It's the saddest poem I've ever heard in my life. But now let us straighten up and meet our very distinguished guest from Great Britain.
Number one, what is your name, please?
My name is Hugh Wantner.
Number two.
My name is Hugh Wantner.
Number three.
My name is Hugh Wantner.
And listen carefully, if you will, while I read the story of Sir Hugh Wantner. It says, I, Hugh Wantner, am chairman of 3 of London's most elegant luxury hotels. The distinguished Claridge's, where the President of the United States and crown heads of the world stay when in London. The glamorous Savoy, built by the producer of the Gilbert and Sullivan operettas. And the newest of London's deluxe hotels, the Berkeley. Since the management of large establishments, such as the aforementioned hotels, has been my life work, it is my privilege to occupy for Britain's royal family the rather special position in the royal household of an advisor on catering and other domestic matters. I have the splendid title of Clerk or Clerk of the Royal Kitchens, signed Sir Hugh Wantner. And we'll be back in a moment with a few pertinent, and I trust not impertinent, questions of Sir Hugh and friends.
We're the Vault Guys.
From As Seen On.
It's time to play 5 Degrees of Charles Nelson Riley.
Today's challenge, Dustin Hoffman.
Okay, this graduate appeared on What's My Line,
His co-star Anne Bancroft was a whiz at Password,
which was hosted by Alan Ludden,
who was married to Golden Girl Betty White,
who was on Match Game with Charles Nelson Riley.
As Seen On, Saturday nights at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on Game Show Network.
Uh-oh, another chocolate attack. Better reach for a Tootsie Roll or a chocolatey center Tootsie Roll Pop. Delicious, and as always, low in fat.
Surprisingly sweet. Nutty, too. This stays crunchy even in milk.
See? People love me.
Tonight, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, only on Game Show Network.
When you have an ailment, different doctors might recommend different treatments. But for yeast infections, the #1 recommendation of doctors is specific. Monistat. The #1 doctor-recommended brand. Monistat.
Your face has over 20,000 pores. Make them look smaller, your skin smoother, more even with new Neutrogena Pore Refining Cream. The daily moisturizer with retinol and alpha hydroxy. Neutrogena Pore Refining Cream. This was worth waiting for.
He's on a mission with a new partner. Introducing Pop-Tart Snack Sticks. Snap apart the graham cracker crust. Dive into the real fruit filling. Marvel at the resealable pouch. New Pop-Tart Snack Sticks. Don't miss the snack in action.
Colgate Total toothpaste is used and recommended by more dental hygienists than any other brand. You have to figure. They know more about toothpaste than you do. Colgate Total. It's toothpaste, only better.
There's a game show title in this jumble. If you're good, I'll give you a hint. Survey says you kick butt at this.
What's My Line coming up next only on Game Show Network.
Now, we have three very distinguished gentlemen with us. They all say that they are Sir Hugh Walter Kingwell Wantner, catering advisor to Britain's royal family, amongst other things. Let's begin the question with Kitty Carlisle,
Oh,
please.
thank you. It's a pleasure to question you on this subject. Lots of things I want to know. Number two, how many servants are there in Buckingham Palace?
About 150 altogether.
And number three, who's the head chef?
His name is Marcel.
He's French, I take it.
He is French, yes.
Thank you. Number one, who cooks for the servants?
The same man.
You mean there's no cook for the servants?
No, the same chef cooks for the servants, cooks for the Queen.
Oh, my dear.
Well,
it's not done in the best homes. There's always somebody who cooks for the servants.
Why, they get second-rate food?
Well.
Takes somebody to whip up the peanut butter sandwiches, you know.
Number two, can you tell us, maybe this is impertinent, don't answer it if it is, how much would the food, let's say, cost for the royal garden party?
I honestly don't know. I just don't know.
Right. Number three, who is Gibbs at Claridge's?
Well, he, until very recently, the poor man died recently, was the concierge.
Thank you. Marvelous man.
And there goes the buzzer. We go to Gene.
Number two, do you have any idea how many rooms there are in Brown's Hotel?
Well, it's not one of our group, but I really couldn't answer that because it's not one of our group.
Yeah. Number one, do you say clerk or Clark?
I say Clark.
You say Clark?
Yes.
Number one, aren't you spreading yourself a little thin, involved with 3 hotels as chairman? What are your duties entail? I mean...
What do you mean? Do you think there ought to be more hotels?
Well, no, I think it sounds like it's too much for one person to me to oversee the operation of 3 hotels.
No.
And the Queen's activities.
No, I wouldn't say it was too much.
Number 3, how much time do you devote to things that go on at Buckingham Palace, sir?
Well, I would say about once every fortnight or so, I go around and talk to the master of the household, and we discuss any problems that may have arisen.
Thank you.
And for our American listeners, a fortnight is just a little less than a fifth.
Number 3.
Yes, Peggy.
Number 3, where is the new Berkeley Hotel?
It's just off Knightsbridge in Wilton Place.
Thank you. Now, number 1, will it have a buttery?
It won't be called a buttery, but the same sort of thing.
Shame on you all. Number 2, what's an old blue?
An old blue is somebody who's got the blue for a university.
Thank you. Now, number 3, where is the Capitol Hotel, which is a new hotel?
The Capitol Hotel, it's near Hyde Park.
Thank you. And how many rooms does it have, do you know?
I think it has about 400, I'm not sure.
Thank you. Now, number 1, what was the Savoy Hotel originally before it became a hotel?
It was a palace.
Whose palace?
Count Peter of Savoy.
What a fancy name.
I know, wasn't it splendid?
Number 2, where do you buy your potted shrimp?
We buy them collectively from a very famous fishmonger in the city of London.
Which one?
Not allowed to mention first names. Let's go down to Nipsey.
Number 1, I went to London last year for an industrial show, and we were told that we stayed at the finest hotel. It's called Inn on the Park. Are you familiar with it?
Yes.
How far from that location, that area where the hotels are, is that stone where the soapbox process is practiced every Sunday morning?
Yes, the top of Hyde Park.
Yes. Can you tell me, number 2, what is a jambuti?
No, I can't, I'm afraid.
Number 1?
No.
Number 3?
No, sir.
Explain to me, number 3, the different plans, European as opposed to American, in Europe.
Well, the European plan is when you simply get bed and breakfast, as we call it.
Yeah. Number 1, when we want to be around...
I'm sorry, Nipsey. I'm also sorry, gentlemen, collectively. We seem to have spent all of our time plugging your opposition hotels.
Everybody knows Claridge's.
Yes, we mentioned Brown's and whatever the thing was and so on and so forth. Anyhow, it is time now for us to vote and decide as to whether it's number 1 or number 2 or number 3. I think you know that we pay $50 for each wrong vote. We pay $500 if everybody comes up with the wrong answer. And Kitty Carlisle starts.
Well, I'm proud to say that I always stayed either at Claridge's or the Savoy, gentlemen. And although number 3 referred to Mr. Gibbs as the concierge and I was called him the hall porter, I voted for him anyway.
All right, you got a 3 showing. And what are you going to do, Gene?
I'm proud to say I stayed at the Savoy. The food, incidentally, was terrific there. I voted for number 1 because number 2, I think anybody in the hotel business would know that Brown's had a small handful of rooms, and it was a tiny hotel. It would take a guess at how many rooms they had.
And it's in the Catskills.
We got a 3. There is a Brown in the Catskills. Yes, there's a 3 and a 1. Peggy, you look as though you want to kill yourself. What's wrong?
Well, I always stay in a rooming house, but I'm working my way up. Well, number 1, I don't believe Sir Peter of Savoy. I can't believe that name. It sounds like an Italian prince. And number 3 said the Capitol Hotel had 400 rooms, whereas I believe it has 60. Number 2, I love the Savoy, and I'm nuts about Claridge's. I'm intimidated by it, but I love it. I voted for you.
Everybody's got a vote, and the majority is going to have to be decided by Nips.
Well, they're all English. If they're any more English, they couldn't talk at all. But I took number 1 because he does know the locations of these particular hotels. By the way, a jambooty is jam and bread and butter. It's a big English dish. That's where I learned about
Nobody
it.
ever gave me any jam.
Well, the votes are all in, and the moment of revelation has come. Will the real Sir Hugh Walter Kingwell Wantner please stand up? Very good indeed. And let's find out about number 2. Number 2, so what is your real name? What do you do?
My name is Fred Rainsford, and I'm with the British government here in New York.
Number 3, sir, tell us about you.
My name is Gordon Thomas. I'm a documentary film producer.
Sir Hugh, it's difficult to ask you to state a preference, but now you are chairman of 3 hotels, the Barclay, Savoy, and Claridge's.
Yes.
Where do you live, sir?
I live at Claridge's.
Oh, that's nice.
It's not necessarily a recommendation over the other one, but that's where you happen to live. I suppose we'd interpret it that way. Thank you very much, Sir Hugh and Imposters, for being with us here on To Tell the Truth. Now, panel, at this point, I want you to pay very close attention to some rather frightening film. It was made available to us by Congressman Jim Wright of Texas. He's chairman of the House Public Works Subcommittee on Investigations. And staff investigators actually shot this film as part of the subcommittee's continuing efforts to isolate and correct danger spots along our interstate highways. This is an interstate highway just outside of Washington, D.C. It's a rainy day. Miraculously, no one hits him. Wow. And miraculously, as I say, no one was hurt in those particular accidents. But such dreadful automobile accidents are tragedies which take over 50,000 lives from this country every single year. Now, in a moment, we'll meet a man who can tell you why these accidents occur and what the government is trying to do about it. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Are you tired of searching for that lost shoe? Wish you had more space? Then you need the Shoe Tree Carousel from Hook and Hang, the amazing new rotating shoe organizer that holds 32 shoes in less than 2 feet of space. That's right, this jumbled mess easily organizes into 32 shoes like magic. Best of all, its amazing 360-degree rotating carousel lets you find the perfect shoes to match any outfit instantly. Plus, it has 4 extra compartments for shoelaces, shoe polish, socks, and accessories. And look, Shoe Tree adjusts high or low to fit any space. Fully expanded, it grows over 6 feet tall, holding 72 shoes. Amazing! Use it on the floor or hang it on your closet rod for even more space. It fits any kind of shoe, heels, boots, and sneakers. But that's not all. Add pocketbooks, ties, hats, and more.
Look, this plastic floor rack holds only a few shoes, and you run out of floor space. But the hook and hang shoe tree carousel fits into less than 2 feet of space. And this plastic shoe bag crushes shoes. But the shoe tree's unique pedal holder keeps the shape of your shoes and lets them air out so they stay like new. At last, children's shoes and toys can be neat and organized. A mother's dream come true. No more searching for lost shoes. This shoe holder can't fit in your closet and costs $100. But now your closet goes from this to this with the hook and hang shoe tree carousel on this exclusive TV offer for only $19.99. But wait, call within the next 10 minutes and get 2 hook and hangs. The incredible space saver absolutely free. Holds over 64 items in the space of 1. Imagine the shoe tree carousel and 2 hook and hangs. Enough to hold over 32 shoes and 64 garments. A $40 value, all for only $19.99. Not available in stores, so don't delay. Order today. To order the shoe tree carousel and get 2 hook and hangs absolutely free for only $19.99 plus shipping and handling, have your credit card ready and call the number on your screen. Or send check or money order to the address on your screen. Don't miss this exciting opportunity to order the shoe tree carousel. Call now.
Isn't everything is A, true, B, a nice sentiment, C, ridiculous.
Inquisition, tonight at 7 and 11 Eastern.
Now let us meet our authority on highway accidents.
Number 1, what is your name, please?
My name is Vincent Esposito.
Number 2.
My name is Vincent Esposito.
Number 3.
My name is Vincent Esposito.
And here is the extremely important story of Vincent Esposito. Listen carefully if you will. I, Vincent Esposito, am Chief of the Accident Investigation Division of the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Working under my direction are 16 United States and 20 European investigation teams. It is their job to uncover and explain the real causes of motor vehicle accidents. Actually, most in-depth investigations confirm the fact that drivers who drink are still our #1 menace. Furthermore, it will not surprise you to learn that callous indifference to wearing safety belts often turns minor accidents into major tragedies. We have also discovered that carbon monoxide poisoning from defective exhausts is the reason that some drivers, quote, fall asleep at the wheel, unquote. And it's possible that what appears to be drivers' foolish mistakes are, in point of fact, sometimes intentional suicides. Signed, Vincent Esposito. And gentlemen, I will turn you over to the tender mercies of Miss Peggy Cat.
Hi, thank you. Number 3, in that movie we just saw, wasn't there something wrong with that road? I mean, that road looks funny to me.
You're absolutely right. And that has been corrected. Actually, there was an S-turn on the road which caused that problem.
Yeah, but number 3, if you're the head of the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, can't you just order people to fix the roads?
Yes, and we did so.
I see. Now, number 2, does your job come under the government?
Yes, it is.
Part
of the Department of Transportation.
Thank you. Now, number 1, when people kill themselves while driving, how do you mean? I mean, do you mean they put the carbon monoxide up while they're driving the car? I mean, they could cause a terrible accident with other people.
No, it could be faulty exhaust pipes or mufflers.
No, I'm talking about suicides, because that's very interesting. Why commit suicide in a car?
Well, they usually do it in garages with the doors closed, and they keep the window of the car open and just let the motor run.
But number 2, it says here, foolish mistakes are intentional suicide. Do you really mean people try to knock themselves off in a car?
Yes, they
on
do.
the road. How?
They can drive up a freeway off-ramp the wrong way, for example, or just drive off the road into a tree.
Oh, my Lord. What a terrible way to do it.
And we go down to Nipsey.
More people are killed on the highway today than die on the battlefield. It's not just the tiger in the tank, it's the jackass behind the wheel. Starting with number 1, this business of potholes and slick spots along the streets. Now, that seemed to be in the film that we saw. I don't know if you have any direct relationship to that film. A skid that was in an incline going into a bridge. Wouldn't such a place be marked if it were the source of a number of accidents?
Usually it's marked by warning, slow down, slippery when wet.
I see. Number 2, with regard to safety belts, What is the danger of safety belts in the event of fire? Now, that was a fuel truck and a trailer that hit. If you hit that with a car and you were locked in with a safety belt, what would be the possibility of getting out of a car?
It is possible that in some cases the fact you got your belt on will make it harder for you to get out of the car or someone to remove you. But in the long run, when you consider all the kinds of accidents that can happen, you're better off wearing them.
Right. And we go to Kitty Cross.
Thank you. Number 3, what do you do when you get in a car that has no safety belt? That's happened to me a couple of times.
What do I do when I get in a car? Well, I generally won't.
You won't get in?
I won't get in one.
I see. Thank you. Number 1, are there any teeth in this commission of yours? Supposing the state says, we don't have any money to fix the road right now. Can you put them in jail or force them or what?
Well, we send our recommendations to the National Highway Safety Council, and they try to enforce the laws by...
But if they can't, what then?
They make some sort of congressional help to enforce the law.
I see. Number 2, are the engineers who build roads not licensed? I mean, how can they make silly mistakes like we saw on the screen just now?
Well, designing a road is a complex operation, and that particular problem didn't occur. They didn't know it was there until after they'd finished the design.
Oh, number 3, how do you discover that that what looks unintentional is in fact a suicide? How do you find that out later?
Well, we have a staff including psychiatrists and engineers. So